Today we're going to be talking about Valkyrie Drive Mermaid. Now, this is a little earlier than what I wanted to do it. I wanted to wait at least a year before something aired in order to talk about it. But I promised you guys last week that I was going to talk about Valkyrie Drive, and we're going to talk about Valkyrie Drive. Like I said, I had watched this right before I watched Momokyou Sword, and one of the things that I liked about the series was that it didn't shy away from anything. You saw how impractical all the outfits were for battle. They slipped all kinds of nipples everywhere. The series follows Mirai and Momori because they're both carriers of a virus that allows some people to turn into weapons and others to sort of draw out those weapons. Now, if this sounds familiar, it's basically viral Soul Eater. The main difference is that they're all quarantined because people are afraid of this virus and of how they draw out the weapons. In Valkyrie Drive, it's said that you must sort of release your soul to draw out the weapon, and the easiest way to do that is to orgasm. So you have a bunch of powered women. The virus only infects women. You have a bunch of powered women on an island, held there against their will. Now, supposedly, part of the treaties of the world once this virus was discovered was that none of these girls were to be used in war. And we know that's false because Mirai was actually a soldier before she got captured and tossed onto the island. And it ends up coming back and is it's part of her personality being so very overprotective of Momori and just taking on the burdens. The story is truly about Mirai and not Momori, because most of the time Momori is her sword is in her weapon form, so she's a sword and can't really add much to the conversation. Instead, she adds much to the fight. And while the series is quite perverted, it does sort of balance that out with some pretty good-looking fight scenes and some pretty dark story. Like towards the end, it starts getting pretty dark, but it's because the reason it gets dark is because it starts focusing more on Mirai's story, and while, like I said before, she is the main character, she does kind of, as we learn more about her story gets a little darker, and the people around her are, start getting into certain situations. And when Momori finally finishes powering up, you have a very serious character in very, very silly armor. Overall, I did enjoy the series, beyond the lesbian TNA, but it was a fun series. Much like Momokyou Sword, it was very fun to watch. Though I'm not sure if I watched it as it aired, I would have continued watching it, It definitely lends itself more to binge watching than anything. Uh, Links to the streamer down below. Next week we got more Conception. After that, we're gonna talk about some Overlord. Fun series. Check out my buddy over at Flipside, and we'll see you next time.